Shalom. This is the 9th video on Sefer Shemos. We're looking at Sedrat Bo, Parak Yud Aleph, Pasuk Gimel, and let's look inside. Vayitein Hashem es ha'am b'nei Mitzrayim gam ha'ish Moshe gadol ma'ol be'eretz Mitzrayim b'nei avei paro b'nei ha'am. So it says as follows that Hashem gave favor of the nation, and it says ha'am, the nation, b'nei Mitzrayim, right, in the eyes of the Mitzrayim. Gam ha'ish Moshe gadol ma'ol be'eretz Mitzrayim. Moshe was looked upon now as a great man in the land of Egypt. B'nei avei paro b'nei ha'am, in the eyes of the servants of Paro, and in the eyes of the servants and in the eyes of the nation. Now, we have a fascinating machlokas here between the Ramban and the Cheskuri, and it focuses on the repetition of the word am. And the debate is, who does that refer to? It's clear that Moshe gained favor in the eyes of the Mitzrayim. That's clear from the pasuk. But why does it keep mentioning am, almost as if it's alluding to a different nation? And that's exactly the Ramban's point. If you look at pasuk Gimel, the Ramban starts off, it says, V'tav v'yitein Hashem eschein am b'nei Mitzrayim. What does it mean that Hashem gave the favor of the people in the eyes of the Mitzrayim? So Shelo hayu anshe Mitzrayim sonenu osanu alamakos. The Mitzrayim, interestingly enough, the Mitzrayim didn't hate the Jewish people for the plagues that they were receiving. Aval mosifim behem ava v'nosim chen beinehem. Actually, it added love to them. They appreciated the Jewish people with each makkah. Leimor nachnu harishayim. Gam osim chamas. We were the wrong people, the Egyptians said. We performed acts of evil here. And it makes sense that God should favor you. So he says, even Moshe, who clearly was, it seems at least in the eyes of the Egyptians, that he's the one controlling the show, the one bringing on the plagues. Right, so it seems that in the eyes of the Egyptians, he was looked upon as a great man. But the Ramban goes along, and he says, "V'nei ha'am," the last two words of the pasuk that says "V'nei ha'am," the eyes of the people. Who is that referring to? Yisrael. That's referring to the Jewish people. Acharei she'amru lo yireh Hashem aleichem v'yishvot. Acharei lo shamu Moshe mikol ruach nizgad hamod. After Bnei Yisrael refused to listen to them. Remember, we learned a couple weeks ago about the kotzer ruach, the shortness of breath that they had, that they refused to listen to Moshe Rabbeinu. Now, interestingly enough, now they're ready to listen to him, now they respect him. He was greatly honored in their eyes. Because now they saw that whatever he predicted in terms of coming true from Hashem actually came true. That's the Ramban's idea that V'nei ha'am, refers to the Jewish people. Now, interestingly, the Ibn Ezra takes a different approach. If you look at the last two words of the Ibn Ezra, he says, V'nei ha'am, who does that refer to? Am Mitzrayim. The Ibn Ezra says that every time you see that it talks about ha'am, the nation, who is that referring to? That's referring to the Egyptian people, and it was in their eyes that the Jewish people were so respected. Now that's interesting. It's a fascinating debate as to who Moshe looked greater in. Even Ezra seems at face value, it seems to make sense. But the Ramban's point that Moshe Rabbeinu now was respected by the Jewish people also gives us an interesting perspective. Of course, we're not going to fully understand this debate until we start thinking about it, and that's what I expect of you. I want you to start thinking about it, come up with ideas, and I look forward to hearing them. You can do so on the forum below in the comment section here or the description section of this video. So I hope you enjoyed. And by the way, this famous yeshiva behind me here that we're looking at, if you know what yeshiva this is, and I'd love to hear. It's worth extra credit. Shalom.